Hi folks, happy to have you here on the AX Semantics Meetup channel. Here you will find every 14 days our latest video from our meetup where we're discussing with experts and customers about the opportunities of content automation. If you have any questions, just write it in the comments. We will answer them as soon as possible. And don't forget to subscribe our channel. Then we will see you next time here on this channel.
Welcome. My name is Schmidt. I'm one of the founders of Digitaleffects in Berlin. We are 9 people focusing on SEO. We are focusing on off-page SEO, on content optimization and technical SEO. And this is how we promoted a customer. He could increase its sale by 380% from 3.5 million to more than 60 million euros just by using SEO. We carried out a study together with SEMrush, or we used SEMrush for it. So we compared the websites and we focused on SEO and search engine optimization. We only looked at the free Google results. Why did we use the BEVH? We wanted to focus, or we wanted to work properly. There are lots of web shops and e-commerce shops online, but we only focused on a selected number of web shops. We've conducted the study a couple of times, but this time we wanted to have a representative results. So the members of this association are numerous. We have lots of international and national players. So in total, 420 domains that we looked at. These 420 domains have more than 40 million keywords. So this is our framework. We don't want to focus on visibility indices and other KPIs. No, we want to have something tangible. Everyone should understand what this study is about. 41 million keywords. So this is the amount of keywords that we have. And we used SEMrush. SEMrush focuses on the click likability, and based on the rankings, SEMrush estimates the clicks and the domains. So we have 40 million keywords, and this led to 571 clicks in a month. So this is the baseline of the general amount of clicks. So then we looked at the domains and the share of the domains, because we don't want to work with an index, but with percentages. These are the market shares. The market is defined by 420 e-commerce shops. And we learned that the marketplaces are leading in this industry. We had eBay, Idealo, Otto, Alibaba. So 70% of the 10 leading have the organic share. So they have the largest share in terms of keywords, and they also have the largest share in keywords. So we have 7 marketplaces among the top 10. So why are these marketplaces now in the top 10? I think that is understandable because they have a large reach. They have a broad product range in general. Just take Amazon, for instance. And they also have thousands of retailers and dealers. They use Amazon to offer their products via Amazon. Same applies to eBay. earlier in the days, people try to sell and auction off their products there, but today you also can buy products directly via eBay. Idealo is also becoming a marketplace. It was originally used to compare prices, but right now, Idealo also offers this opportunity to buy products directly via Idealo. It helps Idealo to retain their customers. It is a good thing to optimize the search engine, because in the next step, you can then redirect the customer to the next web page and website. And for this reason, it is not only important to expand the product range, but also redirect the customer to the website the customer actually wants to go. The same applies to Otto. It is also expanding its product range. Kaufland as well. My Toys is part of Otto, and Alibaba is a Chinese marketplace. It is in the top 10, so that's interesting to notice. Another vital aspect of SEO is that is availability. If you have many stakeholders who offer a product, then you have to focus on availability. So you have to be available online. There are some shops who don't have enough stocks. So if you have products available, this can give you a competitive edge. For instance, if you want to sell COVID tests, etc., it is important to have products available at all times. That really gives you an advantage. So these are the important things that you have to focus on. So you have to expand your product range in a useful way. Then you want to remain the marketplace where people buy products. If you offer your product in your own web shop and on a marketplace, then the marketplace canalizes your market range. And thirdly, you have to focus on availability of products. All right, now let's have a look at the clicks. So the next thing is that Amazon is a major player here as regards SEO in Germany, especially as regards e-commerce. But Amazon gets 45% of all SEO clicks of all 420 domains. So this is astounding and remarkable. Even eBay cannot keep abreast with Amazon. eBay has 10%, almost 11%, so it's a huge part of the general traffic. So 10% from 571 million, this is really remarkable. Otto has 5, Idealo 5, Ikea 4, and then we see these niche markets, Thalia, etc. So they only cover one industry and one segment. Then we have My Toys with toys, etc. H&M with fashion and clothing, and Rossmann with beauty items and articles. Both Zalando and DM are not part of this list, but About You and Rossmann are part of it. So they are representing this industry. Now let's have a look at the perspective of keyword analysis. So what company has the highest ranking? Idealo is Germany's largest shopping platform. Amazon is still here in the forefront, but a little bit below 30%. So the difference here is not as high as on the last slide. eBay has 15% market share, Idealo 8%, before Otto, and then there's Kaufland and the other competitors. Alibaba has not that much traffic, but still it has 2% of all keywords. So it is still ranking among the top companies. So let's have a look at brand positioning. You might know this slide. You can see here different brands, and we have a different, some kind of scaling here. We looked at different logarithms, and you can see that we have a classic result, an expected result. On the y-axis, there's the organic traffic share. So the share of clicks, and on the x-axis, the organic keyword share. Amazon here is an absolute front runner here, but traffic still is extremely high, in a higher ratio than in comparison to the keywords. eBay is coming next, and then we also have the different brands here, the other brands. But first, let's focus on eBay and Amazon, because they are a truly important marketplace for many retailers. Amazon is a frontrunner in Germany, especially when comparing to the different 420 domains. It is extremely successful. Amazon has 190 times as many clicks, 257 clicks per month. Per month. This is astounding. This is really a great success just by using SEO. This is a result that is directly linked to SEO, not to newsletters, Facebook ads. No, it's just about organic clicks from search engines such as Google. And eBay is also it is also very difficult to keep abreast with eBay, because 45 as many clicks as others in comparison to other players. eBay has also long tail ranks. They also sell small items and items for hobbies, etc. But let's now compare it to Amazon. Amazon and eBay are worlds apart. Amazon is twice as large as eBay and gets 4 times as many clicks. So as regards traffic, Amazon is 4 times as large as eBay. Now let's have a look at the overlaps. So what do we see here? The manager of eBay should have definitely assumed that Amazon is truly eating eBay here. You see that the larger circle is the keywords of Amazon, the exclusive keywords for Amazon, and the green circle here, the green part here, is the keywords from eBay that are not used by Amazon. And then we see the shared part here. This is the part that represents the keywords that both Amazon and eBay use. So what are the overlaps here? Then we see the next point. What is the collateral damage? All the retailers and brands that both give their products both to Amazon and eBay, because but the most overlaps appear in the field of iBrands, ASIS, and other producers, Engelbert and Strauss. We have Babywald here, Gymshark, Dänisches Bettenlager, Medimops, Pandora, Jacko, Louis Motorrad, Peter Hahn, Urban Outfitters. both eBay and Amazon want retailers to list their products with them. And for this reason, they both appear when there's a search query. If someone wants to go to Bettenlager, eBay is on rank 3. And with Amazon, you have to fear that Amazon has a higher click rate than the brand itself, because the customer knows, the customer generally know that Amazon is really convenient. You can return the articles, you can buy them directly there. So it's really convenient to buy products at Amazon. All the retailers are a collateral damage because Amazon also eats these retailers. It is really devouring them and swallowing them. All right, so what is the search intent of people? What do they intend to find? This is a really interesting result because both Amazon and eBay have a large share in the field of information-driven search intent, because people want to get information. So Google search results are more information-driven. So you find blogs, news, and other things. When looking at it from a traffic perspective, you see that the information-driven search intent is dominating. And we also see that this makes up a major part of the search queries. Now let's have a look at the German market. Let's have a look at Otto, Idealo, and Kaufland. We see that there is a balance here. Idealo is in the lead as for keywords, but doesn't get more traffic than Otto. Otto has the same amount of traffic as and Kaufland. In comparison to Idealo, there's a slight difference because Kaufland is in the lead as for keywords, but they also have a large amount of traffic here. And what was surprising as well is that there is a huge overlap as regards Amazon and eBay. And here, with Otto and Kaufland and Idealo, there's just a small overlap. Idealo is more does focus more on technology. Otto focuses more on clothes and homeware, and Kaufland has other specialities. So what are the overlaps? Let's have a look at the categories. PlayStation, for instance, it is a synonym to play stations and other games and other game consoles, but there are also other categories such as e-scooter. Kaufland is here very strong, and Idealo as well, and also coffee machine. Otto here is in the lead, and same applies to a refrigerator and a laptop. Laptop is just a buzzword here that is only used by a certain target group. I personally would refer to it as notebook or MacBook maybe. I think the younger gaming generation wouldn't refer to their computer as a laptop maybe, but Otto is leading here in this matter. The same applies to winter jackets for women. We see that there's a focus here. You see, same applies to boxes and other categories. Idealo is 35 times as large as the average and gets 20 times as many clicks So almost 30 million clicks per month. So this is also remarkable. Same applies to Otto, 31,000 clicks, 23 times as many clicks as the average. And now, last but not least, let's have a look at Kaufland. Kaufland is also not far behind the other ones. 24,000 clicks, only 24,000 clicks, but still 18 times as large as the average. So what about the story of Kaufland? Many of you have noticed that Kaufland has bought Real, but some of you might not know that Real is also not the original platform. It was a startup from Cologne that was named Hitmeister. Hitmeister was bought from Real in 2016 or 2017, and this merger led to a great success. And then also the change of domain really led to a major success here. As regards SEO, this was a outstanding success. It is a really interesting story when you look back to 2012 and 2013. You see a slight growth here, and then you see that there was a major growth then. So this is a huge story of success. So the team is still the same. They learned from the first merger and acquisition, and then they could do it again. And when Real or Kaufland acquired Real, they changed the domain, and normally they had to expect some losses, but that didn't happen. And for this reason, the person that was responsible for SEO joined me in my podcast, so you can listen to this podcast. I can highly recommend it to you. All right, let's have a look at the outliers. Ikea, with a high amount of traffic and a low share of keywords, and Alibaba with a high amount of keywords and a low share of traffic. Ikea has 25 million clicks and is 18 times as has 18 times as many keywords, but the same and the opposite is true with Alibaba. It has 9 times as many keywords, but is only 0.6% as successful as the average. All right, okay, where do all the clicks come from? You see that IKEA, the buzzword IKEA, leads to 20% of organic traffic, and the other combinations all include the buzzword IKEA, IKEA Online, IKEA.de, IKEA Online Shop, IKEA Kitchen. So category buzzwords, but IKEA is a D2C brand that managed to become very famous, and also people like to buy products from IKEA. We see that 110,000 of people searching for a desk from IKEA or other products. Alibaba, 25% of the clicks come from the buzzword Alibaba. Then we have other keywords here, other category keywords. It's a Chinese marketplace. We see MP3 Vogel and other buzzwords here, MP3 bird. So it is a very special and peculiar result here. And then a very classic thing is that if you are not a marketplace, if you're have a more general approach, such as Otto, Kaufland, and Idealo, then you should become successful in your market niche. We have lots of examples here in Germany. 3 of them are MyToys, Thalia, and Weltbild. Let's have a look at them in greater detail. Thalia is more media driven and gets 10 times as many clicks or receive and gets 6.5 times as many clicks, 8 times as many keywords and twice as many clicks, but they don't have many keywords that overlap here. No, I thought that both focus on similar things, but Weltbild focuses more on multimedia aspects and Thalia focuses more on books, but both brands sell traditional media. Now let's have a look at it in greater detail. So what are the differences here? Thalia focuses on Tonybox and books, and it is leading in this matter. Tonybox has become increasingly popular over the last couple of years. You have these little figures, and it can then tell the device what story is supposed to be read out. So it is a thing that many parents of you know. Thalia is here in the lead. More than 360,000 times people search for Tonybox. The same applies to book titles. And Weltbild, Weltbild is leading in the field of gifts and calendars. I know that my parents also bought calendars from Weltbild. Thalia is also ranking good here, position 7, but not as good as Weltbild. And as for gifts, you see here presents for men, Christmas decoration, feel better soon, etc. So Weltbild is very specialized in this respect. All right, MyToys receives 5 times as many clicks as in comparison to the average. And then we have other examples here. We have 2 other domains here, Jakko and Babywelts. And it's also interesting to see because they are all part of the same category, but they have different sizes because Jakko is can fit 1.3 times in Babywelts, and Babywelts MyToy is 5 times as big as Babywelts, and that's also due to the product range. The overlap, the general keywords that overlap, the amount of them is very small. Parents know the difference because Babywelts is more about equipment like beds for children, buggy, and also other things, clothes for children, and yeah, strollers, pushchairs. That's what you can see from the huge circle here. And Jakko also specialized on certain products and brands. It's not comparable to Babywelts and MyToys. Okay, let's have a look at the SEO perspective. MyToys and Babywelts are very visible as regards product searches, such as Barbie car, Lego, and other toys. Babywelts and MyToys are very successful in this respect. Jakko is not really represented in this transactional field, but more it can be easily found in information-based searches. So people would just want to get information before they buy something, like do-it-yourself games and also crafting, handcraft work. So Jakko wanted to create content to inform parents and to inform children and provide information for information-based searches. All right, so what is the benefit for a shop? Because you want to sell something, right? If people just want to do handcraft with chestnuts, for instance, people don't buy anything then, right? Okay, I held a podcast on that because I had an interview with DM. They reach 4.2 million users without a buying intent. They provide information on the fitting condom size, for instance, or on nutrition for pregnant women. So if you're interested in that, you can search for my podcast. I can also really recommend you to listen to this podcast. All right. If you want to see how your online web shop performed, or if you're just interested in SEO tips from experts, you can just hand in your web shop by visiting this website. You can enter your name, your website, etc., and we will ask you a couple of questions in order to be able to do this SEO check more swiftly. Then we can make an appointment, or you just get tips and tricks from us. And if you want to test SEMrush and do the assessment and analysis that I did as well, you can gain a lot of insights by testing SEMrush for free. Feel free to visit this website here. It is for free, so just feel free to try it out. So, do you have questions? I'll be delighted to answer them. Christian, thank you very much. You put a lot of effort into this study. Amazon and eBay, they're not our customers. But when looking at the rest, 20 to 25%, that's what we we are responsible for, because they are AX customers, right? It is really cool to see how successful they are. So thank you so much for showing this to us. The results are really insightful. So if you want to get more information on this, feel free to contact Christian. Are there questions from the floor? Feel free to ask your questions. Why is my competitor more successful? Why is the ranking of my competitor better? Do you have questions? Fire away. All right, okay, so I have a question. Christian, we are currently focusing on online, on web shops. Just imagine I'm a retailer from, or I'm a retailer from that has a shop in the city. Now I want to offer my products online. So what is vital for retailers? What's the baseline? What's the first strategy to boost your website, to increase your sales online? So just, would you like to give us information what you would suggest for retailers to do? Okay, it is important to understand how you have access to your customers. When you have a shop, it is important to have a good location. You have to have a good public transport connection. And if you are located in the city center, you will also have lots of customers who can access your store. And as regards a web shop, you have to be also accessible and visible. You have to be one of the top 10 in Germany to truly be successful. If you are a retailer for push chairs, then you have to look at your competition. Just Google pushchair, and do you find your product, or is it a huge competition? And the same applies to marketplaces. There's some marketplaces that, or some producers who offer their products on marketplaces, but they want to reduce the costs and reduce their dependence on these marketplaces, and they often try to offer a huge product range the same as they do on Amazon. But this is not a good idea, because you have to specialize. You have to really make up your mind and find your niche on the market and try to be among the top 10 as regards the search results. The generic keywords such as e-scooter, pushchair, buggy, or lamp, these terms that can easily be sold to customers in person cannot so easily be sold online, because there's huge competition online and you have to really find the right buzzwords here. Ralf Haberich had a meetup with us just the other day, and he said that it is truly important to align the online and offline market. They have to work together and have to have a common key figure system. You can buy online and go to the shop and get it there and share the sales between the web shop and the local store, because otherwise you are a competitor yourself to your local store. So you really have to align the approaches here. You don't have to become a competitor yourself, for yourself. Two vital questions. Okay, now we have 3 questions. All right, let's start with the first one. Cannabis products. How can you get a good position via SEO? What about products that cannot be sold via classical platforms, CBD, and so on? So what's the potential with SEO here? What do you think? It is a good customer segment for SEO. There are lots of segments that are already blocked on the market. So you have to look at this in greater detail. You have to look at Google and the organic results. For a CBD retailer, it is good to have a good organic position. But you have to know and be aware of the fact that this is a changing market. At the beginning, there was a need for information as for CBD. So people wanted to have information on it. And then there were lots of reports and studies carried out as regards the use of CBD. And right now, the buzzword CBD has become more accepted. So people just wanted to search for it to buy the product. So it is important to invest in content here, because people want to have information, because this is a very contentious issue. It is a topic where lots of information is needed. So it is important to get a good position here to improve the organic results. These organic results are not that regulated. And this is also true for the field of erotic, because the results are regulated here. But especially with new and innovative issues, it is good to provide information. So if you provide information there, and if you have lots of buzzwords in your information, you will probably get a good ranking and you establish trust. And this is a good customer relation that you want to create. Another question from the field of fashion. What do you think about SEO for fashion, especially considering that the products only have a short time until they are already in sale. So what do you think? What is important when focusing on SEO in fashion? So as for fashion, you really have to focus on categories. It is not about the individual products and items. Summer dresses, for instance, you have to have a category for summer dresses, and the changing products always have to fit into these categories, especially if there's a huge flow of products. You have to have a stable URL for the ranking, and this is generally the category. This is the right approach. But there are exceptions in the D2C industry and the D2C field. If you are a producer yourself and only have 5 dresses or 5 pairs of shoes, then it is not really efficient to have a category, because Google doesn't assess your category as relevant, because there are other categories to choose from. So you really have to differentiate here, but in general, in the field of fashion, you have to optimize your categories and the category buzzwords and keywords. Now, let me revert back to the first question. There are lots of SEO checks, and companies get consults, and due to that, I know that retailers really have it difficult because they have to find their market niche, especially as for fashion markets. It is a highly competitive market. We don't have thousands of streets and thousands of cities where you have people visiting your local stores. No, you just have a couple of search terms, and you have to be one of the best here to appear when people search for summer dresses or jackets or other buzzwords. So as a local player or as a local startup, you might not have the chance to perform best here. So you really have to focus on market niches, and find your specialty in aspect that you want to focus on. Thank you very much. Thank you for that advice. There's also a thank you in the chat. So what needs to be adapted as regards contents, mobile first? So what do we have to do? Do we have to adapt the content here, or what is state of the art here? Okay, it depends on the segment. In the B2C area, it is still relevant. Depending on the search intent, you don't need to have 15,000 of keywords that needs to be typed in on the smartphone. No, you need more pictures. You want to portray your product in a way that it can be experienced from the customer. People sometimes read information on your product. It depends on the products. We often show videos. People want to watch and experience the product that you offer. And this is very, very successful on your mobile phone. You can just explain your topic in 3 or 5 minutes. So this is a good content format that keeps your customer on your web page, that increases the customer retain, or the retention rate. You should not hide all the content on the phone. Just from a user perspective, you have to have a good product description, and you have to cover all the information that the customer needs before buying a product, and it should be presented to your customer independently from SEO. You shouldn't hide it, and because otherwise your customer won't find it and won't buy your product. It is also important to provide that information if this leads to an added value. Okay, as for fashion, if you say something about your brand, is that good? A brand that gives information on it, like the background and sustainability aspects and so on, is that important? It depends on the brand, I guess. In the field of fashion, everything is focused on the visual aspect. The sustainability aspect is also extremely vital, but just a few people are interested in that. It's something that you want to have, but it is not the most important aspect. People, as for keywords, we see that organic, sustainable fashion, those terms are not so important. There's not really a need for it, but there are brands who represent a sustainable approach and they want to represent it, but you don't need to have 5,000 of words that focus on the story of the company. No, just to be succinct and focus on the product. Yes. All right. So much for that. Are there further questions? All right. Let's have another question or respond to another question. Is there another one? Thank you, Christian, for your insights and for explaining your study results. We are looking forward to have you soon again.